Hi, I have a secret that I'm going to share with you. I'm Willy Wijnands, a chemistry and physics teacher at a high school in Alphen aan den Rijn, and all my classes are self-organized. My secret is giving the students ownership, but most important, trust. I give the students the freedom to run their own class and learning process. In the beginning I was surprised that it is working. But how? Simply by using Scrum. So maybe IT is saving education. eduScrum is the edit of Scrum, a tool for the educational system. We create Scrum groups for students who work together in a targeted, effective and energetic way. These groups are formed by the students themselves. They select each other based on skills. These skills can be planning, creativity, math, designing, leadership and so on. The result is that students discover hidden talents and they got more self-esteem. As a product owner, I decide what the assignment is. And the next 2 lessons, each group makes its own schedule for the work in the coming period. All the planned items are placed on the product backlog. Each task should get an amount of time by using points. The points are estimated by playing the game of Scrum Poker. This gives the students the insight of the amount of work that needs to be done over a long period of time. Each group makes their own plan with tasks written on sticky notes. These notes are put on a large sheet, what we call the flop. You might know it as a Scrum board. At the beginning of each class, all students run into the classroom. Each team puts their flop on the wall and gather around it. Then the stand-up begins, all by themselves. My class is fully operational and self-organizing. During the stand-up, they calculate their task and tasks done by homework. They give their own homework. The Scrum Master will guide the process of Scrum, so they can start with a project. The teams do the work and decide on their own process. Mostly there is a team member that understands things better, so he explains it within the team. As a teacher, I'm only involved when the group gets stuck or moving in the wrong direction. First, I let them understand what they don't understand. Then I give them a little push back on track. And now by fully knowing what they didn't understand, they receive knowledge. And this is teaching. By walking around and looking at the flops, I have a quick impression how a team is progressing. The flops give everyone transparency, also by the other teams. The process is easy to follow on the burn down chart. During class there is one central moment, max 10 minutes, for discussing experienced difficulties. This is a moment for me to explain the learning materials. At the end of the class, the teams fold the flop and the Scrum Master will keep it in an envelope. At the end of the sprint, each group will do a review and a retrospective on their achievement and discuss how to do things better next lessons. Next to that, we also introduce students' reflections. Each student will evaluate in a group himself and the other teammates on their qualities and skills. How can I improve myself? How can I improve others? How can we become better as a team? In Dutch schools, a 5.5 is a positive grade. For us, unacceptable. With eduScrum, the goal is to receive a grade above 6.7. Above 6.7, we acknowledge that the student fully understands the stuff they learned. But what are the benefits? What does eduScrum bring? Creating self-driven learning students. And the results are astonishing. On average, they scored 10% higher on their tests. They do their work in teams to motivate each other. They learn how to plan, how to cooperate, how to give each other feedback. They take responsibility for their own work and for the work as a group. How do you control this process? Simply by not controlling. Students doing that by themselves. The students are in charge of their own process. You can see and feel their energy. You see the enthusiasm. And most of all, they're having fun.